Good morning, ladies and gentlemen, and welcome to the Backpack Trader Training Room for Thursday, March the 2nd, 2023. Please note the required risk disclosure. This room is for educational and information purposes only. It is not to be considered individual financial advice. Trading of this type carries substantial risks and should only be attempted with funds that you can afford to do without. All right. Please do say hello in the chat so I know who's in the room. Market opening in a little under 3 minutes. Crude oil got it done this morning. Trade right at 9 o'clock. 12 seconds on the following bar with the initial move down, so that should be in that one. Good morning, Pamela. Good morning, Miles. Or should have been in that one. That one gets target 2 of 14 ticks or target 1 of 14 ticks and target 2 of 22 for 36 ticks on the morning. 9 a.m. session. POQ on one trade. Unleaded. First trade at almost 1 minute at 58 seconds after 9. That gets target 1 traders to POQ. Hit target 1 for 48 ticks. And coming back and stopping out for a single tick on the trailer. So target 1 traders are POQ, target 2 looking for another trade. You get the short, potential stop and reverse to long, but that never triggers, even unadjusted. Comes down, gets very close to money management, comes back up, we get a stop and reverse. It looks like it probably weren't able to avoid it, but let's see. 63, it would be 67 for the reversing entry, and it's exactly where we got to. Don't know if you got in that or not, but that you should have gotten out of the short trade. Actually, well, no, if it popped up and came back down, you'd have stayed in the short, and the short would have been a second money management trade. But if you got the long, you got like, well, let's see, what was? Hey, you got 1 tick. Another 1 tick win, so you're up 4, and then you take a full loss. 67, 39.43. Markets just opened. And YM hitting money management, so that trade is off the table. That was a get in sync. The Russell with a long trade out of the gate. Getting to target 1, but we need another. There's money management. That will bring us to break even. 83.3. Nothing yet on soybeans. And the YM stops out of that short trade, so we're flat. System is flat, looking for a trade. One moment while I take care of a trade here. All right, YM picked up a short trade here, and we'll look for taking some heat. Stop and reverse filtered by the squeeze zone. And unleaded getting chopped up a little bit there. Taking a full loss on the short, a full loss on the long. Actually, that long is probably avoidable. Or the short, rather, is probably avoidable. Looks like it spiked down to the entry, and or maybe a tick beyond, and came back. And it looks like we pick up a, and it's only 4-second bar, so that one is too fast to catch. All right, the Russell took a break even on the initial trade. Short got targets. Looks like a short got targets 3 and 4 and a small trailer. And the long we'll have to look at. 30 seconds to get in it, but it came down and hit to the stop. Don't know if it got to the entry or not before it went to the stop. But then it picks up a short that definitely gets in and gets money management and is a little bit more than a break even. Soybeans with a long trade now. Definitely in that. Entry at 1492 flat. 7-tick target, so just a minimal target, or 1 tick more than a minimal target, but all right, the YM, money management, and target 1, and stopping out at 711. So that is a one and done. And good morning, Jeff. All right. Long on unleaded now. See if that's able to come back, push back up again. All right, Pound Aussie got in this initial short set up right at 20 seconds after our start time, and plenty of time to get an order in. It triggered. However, money management was down here at target 3. It was a very small trade, so that ended up stopping and reversing at 77.83. Lots of time to catch the reversal, and unfortunately then it goes back down and gives you a full stop out. So a little out of sync there. Soybeans, not sure where it's going. And unleaded, money management and target 1, but we're trading for target 2 because target 1 traders were POQ. So looking for a 63 tick target 2 at 844. Trailer is already in place. It looks like about 84, 784. All right, the Russell looks like had an avoidable short that stopped out. No way to get away from the long, I don't think, so that's a loss. And now we're in a short. The Russell kind of noisy this morning. Yeah, let's see, what do we get? One, two, three, four. The long was avoided, so I'll call that 3. This is trade number 4. So, and we did get target 2 almost to the tick. 844. We got to the tick. We got target 2 right to the tick. Trailer is at 808. For those of you that are interested, Troy has arranged a training session with the head trainer at TradeStation for today at noon Eastern. Check out the link to that on Discord. That was in the Trade Hacking Club, announced in the Trade Hacking Club. And unleaded stopping out at 808. So we pick up 63 and we go 81 to 08, 1927. We get 90 ticks on that trade. Let's see. Our loss was 43.86. That actually puts us positive if assuming we avoided the long trade. That is POQ. Not by much, but a little bit. So we're down 82. We got 90. We're up 8 ticks. $33.60 less commissions, commissions and fees. Oh well. Ouch. All right. If this stops out, that's the third full loss on the Russell. That ends the session. And we'll go down and look at the micro NQ now. Not very active. Looks like with that wick there, that very may be a valid trade. It definitely is a valid trade. Valid get in sync. And unfortunately, that goes for a loss. And I suspect that, unfortunately, the second loss is on the reversal. That looks like it's, on all likelihood, hit the entry first and then the stop. The question is, did it hit the entry too quickly? A minute and 7 seconds on the bar, so I'm going to take that as 2 losses. We're now in an unusually large long trade on the MNQ. Yeah, 30 3/4 points to target 1. So I would take profit at target 1 on this trade. And target 1 on soybeans. This will be a one and done session. Stop to 92 1/4. All right. And soybeans going to get target 2 at 95 even, 95 flat. Kind of a lackluster morning in the markets. MNQ trying to work its way up. Looks like the YM and the Russell are doing the same. Or trying to do the same. The Russell just coming off of session lows. The YM is kind of is close to session lows, but kind of in between. Definitely negative territory. And the micro NQ also just coming off solidly negative territory. Okay. Coming up off of session lows a bit. And soybeans 1 tick away from target 2. That's sitting there a long time. I would go ahead and take profit there. Pull back and sitting there again at 1 tick below target. Take that position off. Don't let it go back. And it goes through. And goes. Is it going to? Yep, it hit target 3. So targets 1935 ticks. 8 3/4 points. Russell and the YM, well, did seem to be leading it a little bit, but now they're looking. And there's a new short on the pound Aussie at 77.42. That's a solid trade. 19 ticks to target 1, 29 to target 2. And market indices making a solid push upward now. Got a ways to go. This is a big trade on the micro NQ. Two losses means we're down 126 ticks, if I remember correctly. 63 ticks is the risk. 60, or is it 62? Let's see. Risk is 15.5. Yeah, it's 62 ticks. So 120 down 124 with 2 losses. All right, getting very close to target 1 on the pound Aussie. Soybeans trailing at 95.25. And a little bit of a pullback. We need another push. Target is at 912.5, and we got as high as 911.25. So just 5 ticks away. Just a little at the peak. Now we're back down some 12 points or so. Where are we going to go? 10 a.m. crude session coming up in under 3 minutes. Crude is flat at the moment. And stopping and reversing on the MNQ. $881.75 in positive territories. Actually, that's a dead break even, I believe. Yeah, that's dead break even. Lots of time to get in this. Soybeans up to 95.75. Oh, that's not nice. And that is loss number 3 on the MNQ. Losing session today. Down around 180 points. 186. $96.25 for soybeans stop at a trailing stop. And we did trigger into the short on the pound Aussie. Crude oil mini session, 10 a.m. mini session starting. And looks like an up close here would give us a trade at 78.16. And I would push that to 8. Yeah. You got this mess over here too at 18. There's the trade. I would have given it at least 1 if not 2 ticks, but triggering in. Crude is in the long. Soybeans at 97.5. All right. Crude trying to make money management. Pound Aussie coming back to the entry. 14 and 22 for the targets on this one. Money management is at 28. We're getting close to session highs. And 98 flat for soybeans. This is turning into a very nice trade. In fact, it carried it all the way from a session low. Now it's setting new session highs. The low of the 3 dots was the current session low on soybeans. Crude trying to get through that resistance zone. Right around 78.20 it looks like. Soybeans at $14.99.50, $14.99.5 from $14.92. So we've got 7.5 points just on the trailer. We got 8 3/4 points on all three from all three targets, and now we've got almost as much on the trailer. 7 3/4 points now, 99 3/4. And crude pulling back to the entry. Pound Aussie going sideways, crude going sideways. Soybeans turning in a nice trade this morning. $16.5 points so far. Soybeans not going anywhere. Stop and reverse possible on the Pound Aussie. Unadjusted is at 46. That goes to 48. Key level would take it to 51. So there's our stop and reverse. What I'm showing on here is the full contract, ZS. So it's $50 a point. There's trade station. I believe that's just the symbol is just S. All right, one close below the balance line on the pound Aussie stop and reverse. All right, this is kind of an expected pullback off of soybeans. It's gone all the way from session lows to session highs on this move. So a little consolidation is probably to be expected. We'll see if it can, if the trailing stop can survive and get any more out of it. Crude still trying to push up through that 720 mark. 720, 720. It's been up to 723, it looks like. But so far, kind of stuck between the 710 and 720 area for the last few minutes. Potential stop and reverse is currently filtered by the trend mode, as that would be a stop and reverse against the trend indicator, which is solidly blue, going up steeply. $1,500 level providing some support here. Are we going to stay in? No, we're not. Just stops out right there. So 16.5 points, $825 for single contract to all 4 positions. Now, my entry was $14.92 even. Not a big trade, but then it went on a run. Oh, yeah, and there's your short. I would stay away from that for another test of the highs. It could very well be a V reversal, but yeah, is your session low at 89.25, Neil? That's where that was the low point of the exhaustion dots for that trade, or the actual price low. All right, Pound Aussie triggered unadjusted, but the stop and reverse adjustment is keeping us in this trade. Keeping us in the short. And the crude trade, the crude long is still going back and forth. Not even a whole lot of that. Okay, so your session low is a quarter point below or above mine, so that's part of your 1.25 point difference. But that also means that's the difference in where your bars started pricing. So you actually had a larger trade than I did as far as the targets go. From 89.50 to 92.75. So your trade was actually 2 ticks. Your X factor was 2 ticks larger. Stop and reverse potential on crude. 78.04, that would go down to 77.99. Another sizable stop and reverse adjustment. So that would mean money management would come down to 89 on that, and we'd go targets 2 and 3 if it does reverse. And that's to be expected with different data providers, different charting platforms. Range bars starting at a different place, and it doesn't take many ticks to make some significant differences. And crude now pushing up into the 720s, 78.20s again. Getting to 24 this time. But still not able to break through the quarter century mark at 25. There's a new trade on soybeans at 1502 and a half. And that's obviously not one that we're going to get involved with because we are POQ on soybeans. That's something I've seen Neil typically between NinjaTrader and TradeStation since I started trading. I chose NinjaTrader because of my brokerage situation and so forth. And each platform has its own slight idiosyncrasies. Each has its advantages and disadvantages. That's just kind of the way life is. And our stop and reverse now moves up to 04. Because we got a new one on crude. So far, it's still, this time it hit the unadjusted entry, so it's tracking the short, but we are still long. And the pound Aussie is still short, even though it's tracking, the calculator's tracking the long. Stop and reverse adjustments doing their job so far. Yeah, that trade just is not big enough. Because we're already down at 94 so once again will be targets 2 and 3 if we reverse. But I don't like where that entry sits right at the 50 EMA. But there's not really a good place to adjust it in either. As you've also got the $78 level right in there. I think one more tick probably is a good idea. At least 03, maybe 02. 03 is still a 5-tick adjustment to the original entry. And soybeans pushing to new session highs. Crude back up to 78.20 level. See if we can get through 25 this time and get to money management. Money management at 28. Target at 78.30. Getting to 24 again. Quarter century providing resistance. Or that quarter. 78.25. 78.20 hit 78.24 3 times along this stretch. On 3 different bars now. 78.23 a couple of times. There it goes through 25 and hitting the stop on the stop and reverse, so that takes the stop and reverse off the table. Missing money management by just one tick, it looks like. Yeah, we got to 27. We've got a new long trade at 28, but that's our money management. We're still in the long. You can keep your stop at 78.03, 78.04 area, or you can bring it back down to 77.94. And the stop and reverse on the pound Aussie is still in place, but we're testing the session lows again. Crude still trying to push up to money management. Still stuck right around 78.25 level. And now it drops down to below 78.20 again. This is just one of those be patient moments. We've got two trades in place that have come close to money management but haven't gotten there, and they've also been very close to stop and reverses. Crude testing the 20 simple moving average again. The calculator's not tracking at all, but we are still long. Calculator took a full stop on the short that the stop and reverse adjustment kept us out of on crude. And so we are still long. All right, we did hit money management. And we came back to 17. Actually, with the adjustments that we made, yeah, I call that one at 17, I think, anyway. So we would be out at break even on that one. So we are short on the pound Aussie. First trade was break even on crude. Still can take two more trades. Both of those trades having stop and reverses set up, but the stop and reverse adjustments have kept us in the original trades in both cases. Crude working out as ending up working out as a break-even trade. Pound Aussie still in process and actually just set a new session low by a tick or two. All right, at this point, the subsequent yellow long trade would be a get in sync, because it did trigger in. It triggered in before we stopped out, but now that we've stopped out of the prior trade, it is a valid trade. And it did stop out, so that's off the table. Short trade on crude, 78.04. And maybe move that down to 78.03 with the still triggered short. So you got this spike to 78.04, the bar before. More watching paint dry. For 30 minutes in that short trade, in the long trade, or almost 30, good 25 minutes. Still same, just watching and waiting. Okay, crude taking a little bit of heat, but so far 20 SMA is providing resistance. Not much to talk about, just watching things do not much. Nothing on the economic reports that should be pushing it anywhere. And more sideways action. Alright folks, it's been an hour and 15 minutes and looks like neither one of these trades is going to resolve anytime soon. We've got the 10 a.m. crude session. We've got this trade and one more if we need it. So I am going to step aside, let everybody watch their own charts, and we will see you next Tuesday. Another regularly scheduled week next week, coming close to daylight savings times here in the U.S. I believe that comes up a week from Sunday. We spring forward. On March the 12th. You too, Pamela. Miles. Thank you. And we'll see everybody next week. Crude down, pushing down through. I hadn't pushed the button yet, so we'll see if it makes it to money management. It has to push down through the 200 EMA. There's money management. And target 1. That will be a POQ trade. Crude coming up with POQ. Still in the trade. We can get one more target out of it. That's going to be a positive session. Break even and a target 1. Is it going to push on down to 76? It looks like it's going to be slow to do it if it does, but now we know we are POQ. Will be POQ on this trade. Pound Aussie still not resolving and coming back up to toward the stop and reverse, which is still valid because it did trigger in. And this time, Pound Aussie does stop and reverse. There is our money management, so 2 positions at target 2. And that's where we are, is long on the pound Aussie. See everybody next week.